family can finally get some form of justice after close to 7 years have gone by since the slaying of a 13-year-old BC girl whose body was found in a Burnaby Park back in 2017. I'm Drea Humphrey with Rebel News, standing in front of the Vancouver Supreme Courthouse to bring you a report on what went down when a jury handed down a murder in the first guilty verdict for a Syrian national named Ibrahim Ali. Nobody knew if the verdict was going to come in today, December 18th, on a Friday, but it did. It's hard to estimate how long the jury deliberated because I'm not aware of the breaks that they took. But on Thursday, yesterday, they deliberated for approximately 2 hours after Justice Lance Bernard gave them a very detailed amount of pre-deliberation instructions. Today, at approximately 10 minutes before 4 o'clock, they were called into courtroom 53 and gave their verdict. They unanimously found Ibrahim Ali guilty of murder in the first of a young 13-year-old BC girl who I cannot name or show you her face due to publication bans that restrict media from doing so. This guilty verdict means that Ibrahim Ali dragged the child off of a trail in a Burnaby Park forest, brutally sexually assaulted her, and strangled the life out of her back in 2017. Now, he was arrested for that crime nearly a year later. I did a full report on some of the gruesome details in that case, including the pool of semen, his semen that was found in her. There was a lot of evidence against him, but basically his defense attorneys argued that since he was a handsome man in 2017, it's possible the 13-year-old child could have had sex with him at a different location. Well, that argument didn't stand today in court. Ibrahim Ali is guilty of murder in the first, which means he killed the child just months after arriving to Canada as a new refugee to the country. Yesterday, I spoke with one of the many people who have followed this case closely. Here's some of the things she had to say about what she hoped would happen for this case. This is Bella Hong with ASIA. You've been following the case and championing it. Why is it important for you to be here today?
Well, actually, I'm here today as like an individual, as a two daughters' mom here, supporting the family. Also, the most important thing is that we feel that we should stand out to demand justice outcome for this case because it has been too long, like 6.5 years already. So it costs a lot of taxpayers' money, and there's a lot of time and a lot of effort that the government put in. So we, as a group of minorities, so we feel that we demand the justice for the case. We touch base with the family. My goodness, everybody feels like it's an incredible mom that she is. 6.5 years, that's really, really long for her. And she's like in very deep depression right now. Actually, these 6.5 years, she's been in depression. So, but the thing is that she's still doing a great job to wait the final justice for her daughter. When like 6.5 years ago, when I noticed this case, I put my daughter to the Taekwondo class, both of them. So in case to make me feel safe. Yeah, I don't want my daughter, this kind of tragedies happen to my daughter, to my family. Not any, we don't want it to happen to any family. Yeah.
Absolutely. Another thing I told my child is that the ear pods when you're walking alone, keep those out of your ears. Now, what do you make of some of the arguments that have come out in case? Do you think they're strong? The Crown is arguing based on DNA and circumstances of what's found that this is obvious, whereas the defense is saying, you know what? This child wasn't as innocent as the Crown is painting the child, and that it's possible that they connected with each other and had sex somewhere else. What do you make of the evidence?
Well, for some of the scenario, we feel like very shocked, but we have faith in the Canada's judicial system. We believe that we will have a justice outcome for this case. So I can't like comment too much on the result, but we do have like a hope that we are looking for a justice outcome.
Now, a Justice Lance Bernard said that on Tuesday they will be meeting to discuss when the sentencing hearing will be coming. And of course, Rebel News will be following that closely, just like we did with the case. Now, the family of the victim was, of course, present in the room, most of them, anyways. They did not stick around. They did not want to do interviews. Of course, we understand and respect that. But we did speak to some of the people who've been following the case closely to catch some of their reactions on their way out. So, what do you feel about the verdict?
It finally is finished. Yeah, from the 2018. Yeah, there's a long-term trial, I think. Yeah.
This is the most exciting moment. We are all waiting for this moment for so many years, and everyone now feel like the community can be safe now, and the women and children can feel free to run around and to take a walk, to play around, and this is a historical victory.
No. I've been expecting this. It's supposed to be like this. I think it's clear. Everybody can. Even me as just a normal person, I can tell. This is why it takes so long. this takes so. Good day. Yeah, of course. Yeah, it's like Happy New Year for me. It's better than New Year. I feel. Yeah, it's been so long. Yeah, we've been waiting for so long. Yeah,
it's been a long time.
Yeah, been a long time, longer than we expect. Too much longer. Yeah.
Were you surprised at the verdict? Did you think it could have gone another way?
No, I just come here to wait for a result. Then I got a result.
No, this is quite obvious. I don't think that anyone's surprised. If the result is vice versa, would be surprised.
Yeah, the evidence was pretty thick on there. Why was it important for you to follow the case?
It's about the safety, about not only the Chinese community, it's the whole society, right? Just a little girl just jogging in the park and being killed, and this make everybody worry about what can we do in this society. It's not about the Chinese community, about who killed from another race, nothing to do with that. Just the safety of the whole community. Because being a mom and being a Canadian, I think this issue is not only related with a single family or any community. It's related with all of the Canadians. And being a mom, I couldn't imagine my kid, the girl only 1 year older than my son. Now my son is in the university. Yeah. So I couldn't imagine a kid who suffered so much.
What do you think of the defense attorney's sort of image portrayal of the child?
The defense lawyer, we are kind of speechless. We have nothing to comment on.
Thank you so much.
It's kind of the joke for the justice system. He represents the joke.
Thank you. Now, getting the guilty verdict wasn't the only interesting thing that took place in court today. The defense attorney, Peter McCullough, who is known for being ferocious in the courtroom, says he's experiencing death threats. And at one point, he actually requested for the courtroom to be moved over to a more secure courtroom because of that. That actually didn't happen. Everybody went for a lunch break, and it was shortly after that that the jury was called in. Now, one thing the jury wanted to know before their verdict came in was some clarification from the justice about the difference between homicide and murder in the second versus murder in the first. And so Justice Bernard brought the jury forward in front of the gallery. Everybody saw as he went through explaining what those things mean and as it pertains to this child's murder, and then sent them back on their way. And it must have been only 20 minutes later that they then came out with their verdict. And we gave you the breaking news of the story on the internet. Of course, we published an article first. So if you want to be in the first to know what's going on in this case, go to rebelnews.com. Give us your email there if you haven't already, so we don't lose touch. Drea Humphrey for Rebel News. Unlike 95% of the media that does get funding from the federal government, Rebel News doesn't take a cent. If you appreciate that we have our boots on the ground to cover many important stories just like this, you can go to rebelnews.com/donate and chip in a few bucks to cover the costs to bring you reports just like this one. Drea Humphrey for Rebel News.